So grateful. Just so grateful. This past year has been extremely difficult for me. Coming from a place where I was basically on top of the world to crashing down to a place where I didn't think I'd ever be again in my life. Having trouble navigating that, I've been very discontent, very ungrateful, very negative. And throughout the year, I've been doing the absolute best that I can in order to get closer to God and just be grateful for the things that He's been giving me. On this vacation that I went to over the weekend, where I realized, I'm in the times that I prayed for. Over the past few months, I've been asking God to humble me. I've been asking Him to just show me the way, show me the light. And He's been doing exactly that. He's been humbling me at the job that I work. He's been showing me that I have the things that I need. And I feel like I've almost taken what I have for granted, in the sense that, I have this beautiful family. We spend not as much time together as we used to because, we're all working and stuff like that. But, when we do spend time together, it's always just super fun. Like the road trip that we went to Gatlinburg. It was my family, 3 of my aunts basically and their families. It was just amazing. We were in the cabin, and mind you, the entire trip, we basically didn't even really do anything. We were supposed to go to this lift that basically takes you over the mountains of Gatlinburg, but we didn't end up going because it ended up raining, and we got basically rained out an entire day. So it kind of, ruined our whole day. But then we just stayed inside, and we watched a few Marvel movies, a Marvel movie, and then we just played games. We would play Uno, Spades, Monopoly, Slap, just all types of things. And we were just having conversation and just laughing and having a good time. And that was God showing me in that moment, telling me, Jaden, you have exactly what you want. You do, you really, really, really do. And it's the entire weekend I was off my phone. I was completely offline. Me coming home, the amount of gratitude that I had felt, even just rewatching these clips, bro, it's next level. I'm truly grateful for the life that God has given me. And I don't say this in I'm just saying that I'm grateful. No, I'm being so serious, man. Because there was a point in my life where I didn't really care about hanging around family. There's a point in my life where I was so focused on chasing a bag that I missed vacations. I missed moments like these. My family has become increasingly important to me this year alone than it has been in my entire life. Dude, I remember when I was a kid and my mom would force us to have movie night. And I used to be so annoyed because I'd rather be in my room playing video games or watching anime or just doing something else other than having family time. And looking back on those moments, I'm just I understand why I was feeling that way and thinking that way. But at the same time, it's you don't know how many of these moments you're going to have. So it's important that we enjoy them while we have them. And there's so many people who are discontent. There's so many people who complain. There's so many people who are mad at the world because they don't have the things that they have. But they never take a second to look at the things that they do have. Most of us have family. A lot of us have a pretty messed up family. I'm in that pool myself. Even though, my personal family is a bit discombobulated. Even though we've been through a lot. My parents, they're divorced. They're not together anymore. Even though those things exist, I still need to be grateful for the upbringing that I was given. I still need to be grateful for the family and the parents that I do have who did an amazing job. I need to look past the negative. And this is not just for myself, but this is for you as well, because you'll never be able to truly be grateful if all you do is look at the negative. It's oh yeah, I would be grateful for my family, but come on, man, really? Are you really going to have give that negativity room? just going on that vacation and just looking back at these clips, I mean, it made me laugh. It made me happy because there was a point in my life where it was very, very hard for me to be grateful. And that happened this year. It happened last year, the year before that. But now I'm really, really starting to see what's most important to me. And I'm really starting to come into myself. And I can tell because the things that I used to deem as important aren't as important to me anymore. And I'm just grateful to God for showing me that, for shedding light on me, for showing me the way. And I hope you watching this video, I hope this changes your perspective. I hope that you truly do be grateful for what you have, because a lot of the times you have more than what most people have. Not many people get to go on vacation, and I'm grateful for that in itself. Not many people have a loving family, and I'm also equally as grateful for that. So it's like, and if you're one of those people who don't have a loving family, if you're one of those people where your family is pretty difficult, just know that with time, with patience, things will get better. And I know it may not seem that way, but if you keep it in prayer, if you lean into God, then He will make all things better, because He does. He really does. And I've seen it in my life, the way that He has healed my family personally. It's unbelievable. I mean, me and my family, we were in a space where that's hard to come back from for most people. And we made it out. Thank Jesus that we made it out. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful that I can wake up in the morning and have food on the table, that I have a place to sleep, that I have people to come home to, that ask me how my day's going. I'm grateful for those things. I really, really am, because in another life or in another universe, or, I don't know, I may not have those things. And although I might not have much, financially speaking, or I might not have a whole lot materialistically, I don't really care. It's like, yeah, I go to a job that I don't necessarily want to stay at for the rest of my life. But at the same time, I'm just glad that I'm given the opportunity to even provide for myself in general. And obviously, I have some plans in the future with getting into insurance sales that'll kind of solve that problem for me. But at the same time, while I'm here, while I'm where I'm at, I must remain humble. And I'm glad for the humbling that God has put me through, because it has changed me as a person. I was talking to my mom yesterday, and it's funny because literally what we were talking about, I was just thinking about a couple hours before. What I was thinking about was the fact that back when I was doing roofing, making all that money, I literally used to come home and I used to be tired. And my mom would be like, Jaden, you need to wash the dishes. And I would get so mad. And I used to be like, well, why do I have to wash the dishes? Like, in my head, I was thinking I shouldn't have to wash dishes. I work super hard. I make more money than everyone in the household. Like, why do I even have to wash dishes? That doesn't make any sense. And then when we got home, she was saying to me, Jaden, you used to be so different. When I used to ask you to go to the grocery store, you get so angry. You get so mad, you'd get combative, but now it's like you're a completely different person. And that right there is like, I thank God for that. I thank Jesus that He has given me a portion, just a small portion of His character, just a small portion of it. And I pray and I hope down the line that I can continue to grow in His character each and every single day. And I pray the same for you and anyone that is in a state where they feel like they're not who they want to be, or they feel like the person that they are is a terrible person, or they just generally are just going down the wrong path. And I also pray that you're grateful. I pray that things go right for you. I pray that your family is healed. I pray that you get to experience these moments, these little moments that are impactful, that make you happy, that make you smile, that you can look back on and think to yourself, that was beautiful. And in that same token, I pray that above all, that you can be happy, that you can be satisfied, that God can fill your cup with what you have, with what you need, not with what you want, but with what you need. Because I realize in our human nature, nothing is ever enough. But God is telling us, I am enough. What I'm giving you is enough. With that being said, I pray that you take the words of this video and keep them someplace in your heart. Have a blessed day.